Okay. Thank you so much, Tina. And I know that you know that, well, let me tell you guys, Tina Carson has also been supporting me and teaching me how to do breath work. And so just feeling the breath go in through my nose and out through my nose centers me. And so I'm so supported by that. Thank you so much. This morning, we have a really interesting talk title. So let me help you learn how to say it, okay? Say hesitation. Now say blessed. Now say blessitation. Okay. I had to have my 18-year-old tell me how to pronounce it. So we're going to be in the experience of blessitation this morning. I realize that April is such a month of blossoming. And I really got to experience that yesterday when I went for a walk with a practitioner, Leona, and she's so present. And so it helps me be present. And we're walking around Seal Beach. And we stopped to smell all the flowers and appreciate them all and look at them all. And there's ones that still aren't quite blooming yet. We're not really sure what they're going to be. But what I can tell you is that a couple months ago, we didn't see any of those. All we saw was dirt. You know, it was the season of winter. And so we didn't know what was going to come about. But as we know here in this philosophy, the science of mind, we know that in that dirt, in that soil, in that messiness is a seed, and it's germinating, and it's grabbing its roots, and it's getting its nourishment so that in the spring of life, it can blossom into something so beautiful. And so there can be a hesitation, right? A hesitation in, gosh, is it going to grow? Is it going to be what I think it's going to be? Is it, am I doing it right? And then there's a feeling of just being blessed in the process of it. Like I get to put my hands in the soil. I get to be the creator of my garden, of my flower, so to speak. And how beautiful is that? And so we're on this journey together, and it's going to show up in new ways. It's going to show up in new ways. And I know that even though I wasn't here in March, I know that you guys were working on creating a new vision for your life and creating a new idea for yourself. And so this month, we're really moving into being in the journey of practical spirituality. Love it. Practical spirituality in living our vision, a new vision. Nobody wants to go backwards, do we? Does anybody want to go backwards? I don't want to go backwards. Yeah. And so I want to invite somebody to I have the guest, right? The exciting surprise for you all. Since COVID happened, we've all kind of been dispersed. And so we don't really know who's who and who's where and what's happening with other people. And I got the chance last Sunday to see somebody I haven't seen in a long time. And her life has changed dramatically. And she's been a part of this community for so long and been such an integral part of this community that I just wanted to invite Reverend Michael up to share with us and to facilitate her sharing, because I know that it's a beautiful experience. So thank you, Reverend Michael.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for handling that vocabulary, that blessitation vocabulary for me. So through the power of technology and through the power and the brain work of John Broderick, can we give John Broderick just a little bit more love? So we have a person that all of you are going to be familiar with. And back in the day, she was this servant and youth group. She was here every Sunday. She was here early. And in fact, her service brought one of our most powerful leadership council members, Cindy Stevens, with us to serve us for years because she saw her service. We knew her back then as Katie. And she was with the infants a lot and everything like that. And she was here every Sunday. And so I'm about ready to bring her on because she blessed us, and she was blessed in this nice, warm, comfortable space. And now her journey has moved on to the hesitation part of it. So Katie now goes by the name Kat. She's with the Army. She's studying to be an Army medic, to be on the front lines. And she's in my favorite state that I grew up, Texas, in Fort Sam, Houston. And she's going to talk about both the blessing and the hesitation, how she's moving forward in her beautiful and wonderful and powerful greater yet to be that we talk about here every Sunday. So John, could you bring Kat on with us?
Hello.
Hi, Kat. And I'm just going to give you the stage and you can share in your beautiful and wise words.
Yes. There we go. Hi. So yes, it's so great to be here. Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh, there I am. So yes, before I joined the Army, I had been a member of the church for so many years, almost a decade. And I have watched so many children grow and flourish, and I've seen how much the church has grown and changed. And it's blessed me with so many wonderful people and experiences. But then when COVID hit and we all had to transition into a new life and figure out, you know, how we were going to go about making things normal again and continuing what we enjoyed doing, I sort of felt like there was something that I needed to change as well. And, you know, I had been so comfortable in the life that I had, but I was yearning for something more. I thought about joining the Air Force when I was in high school, but I put that idea away. I wasn't sure if it would be something that was right for me. And so I went on to go to college. I got my degree in speech pathology. But then, you know, COVID hit and things started to really change drastically for me. You know, I was all done with school. And I wasn't able to work anymore, and I wasn't able to go to church anymore. So I felt I needed to do something more with my life and make a big change. So that's when I met a friend who was going into the Army, and it sparked my interest about the armed forces. And I was very hesitant because, you know, I had just gotten done with college and I had this expectation of, you know, pursuing a job in that field of speech pathology, and the Army was something that was really unknown. I hadn't really talked to anyone about it either. And yeah, so I decided that this could be the right time. You know, things are slowing down. I had a lot of time to think about the armed forces and joining the Army. And I thought, why not just jump into something completely new and challenging? And there was a lot of anticipation and hesitation building up for me to break this news that I wanted to join to my family and friends, because, you know, everyone knew me as Katie, Miss Katie, you know, the sweet person who worked at church, and she was all into her speech pathology and working with children. But and now I was gonna go into the Army, you know, ooh, crazy, hoo-ah, whatever sort of thing, and it was just gonna be totally different and crazy. And I was really quite scared of, you know, how people would react and if it would change their views of me, and if I would still have the same support that I've always had from all of my loved ones, you know, my family, my friends, and luckily it didn't. But, you know, the Army has been such a blessing. It has given me independence and more goals and more of a purpose, you know. And I finished basic training back in December, and I was able to come home for a little bit and see some people. I would have loved to have been able to come into church and say hi to everyone, but I had such a short period of time and we still weren't doing that. But now I am finishing up my combat medic training here at Fort Sam Houston. I got my EMT certification in just a month, which was crazy. And now I am working towards the combat medic side. So lots of crazy training, and I have 15 days left and I will be graduating from Fort Sam Houston. And then I will be going overseas to Kaiserslautern, Germany. And there's a lot of hesitation with that right now. I mean, I don't have a choice. Like, I'm gonna be so excited anyways, but I'm very hesitant because it's something that's very unknown and scary. I will be kind of alone. There aren't many people going to Germany here, and I've never been. And I'm about to be at a hospital and, you know, treat people. They're gonna have their lives in my hands, and that's just very scary and new. But, you know, I have wanted to do medical work for a while, and I figure, you know, if it wasn't meant to be, then I wouldn't be doing this right now, and I wouldn't have made it this far if this wasn't something that I was meant to do. But yeah, it's really exciting, and I am so grateful for Reverend Michael and Reverend Nicole and everyone here for letting me join this Sunday to talk a little bit about it. I wish I could share like all these stories and talk about all the great friends that I've made and all the fun times that I have already been through, and, you know, what I'm going to go through, but, you know, there's just too much and not enough time. I'm very busy, but yes, I think down the road, you know, I would love to come back on while I'm in Germany and hopefully talk to you guys more about what I'm doing. But yes, so my own journey of hesitation and how it's been such a blessing, though. It's been crazy, but it's been a good thing for me. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kat, for being a great example. And you know that your entire church family will be with you with affirmative prayer, and you're greater yet to be.
Yes.
So anyway, and yeah, I'm sure we can have you back on again at a later time. Now I need to give it back to Reverend Nicole to deliver the message that Kat set up.
Katie, you gave my, okay, Kat.
It can be Kat or Miss Katie or Katie, you know, it's whatever you'd like.
I was thinking is that part of me felt bad for you, this suggestion I had, that you, the hesitation and the blessing that you were so young, supporting, have that kind of team camaraderie that a lot of these younger kids don't have. But you have touched my children's lives, and so many of the other children's lives over the past 10 years or so that I don't know. I just invite you to remember that anytime that you're feeling alone, that you have within your heart, you have within their heart your fingerprint. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so this is the blessed, hesitation, blessitation. Yes. So it's a very weird word. There's kind of three different aspects of this, and we only have a few more minutes to really speak to this, but there's a hesitation in, it's kind of like we're living in that Robert Frost poem, right? The road less traveled, the road not taken. And we're looking down one road and we're like, oh, that looks pretty good. Can we see it? And we're looking down the other road and we're like, yeah, that one looks pretty good too, right? But we're hesitant. Either one's going to be a blessing because we're still alive, right? We're still alive, which means that we've made it this far, which means that we are blessed. Yet there's a hesitation because we want certainty. The only certainty that there is that we are divine incarnations. And I know that can be really big to understand and big to feel. But if you can just feel some sort of a love or goodness within you when you look in the mirror, if you see that you showed a kindness to another person, it can lessen the hesitation. It can release the grip of that. And there is a blessing. Then we move into the blessing, right? We have to bless. This is the hard one. Being hesitant, that's easy. Blessing everything. I probably shouldn't have done that. That was almost like sneezing, right? Sorry. But blessing the hard stuff, blessing the things that don't feel like a blessing, knowing that there's gonna be good coming out of this, but we just can't see it yet because we're in the winter of our life. Something that really, really supported me was listening to this super soul conversation that Oprah had with Bishop T.D. Jakes. And he says, you know, sometimes when we don't listen to our parents, they have to put us in timeout. And he said, in his own way, he said, God put us all in timeout. He goes, I don't care if you were, he goes, from the priest to the pimp, we were all sent to our room. Okay? We were all sent to our room. And I was sent to my room. And I want to share that with you because there's no point in me being up here if I can't be honest and real, right? I have to be an example, or else what is the point? And so I have the thing that I like to do where I like to keep myself really busy so I don't have to feel or think about things. And so when I got sent to my room, I was forced to look at my life. What worked, what wasn't working, what felt good, what wasn't feeling good. And I realized, as Reverend Michael did as well, that this relationship that we had was not working in the way that it was that it was supposed to be, right? Like supposed to be as a husband and wife. It just wasn't working in that way. But the hesitation to be honest about that, because I felt like there was a possibility that I might lose my whole spiritual family and community. Because maybe, just maybe, you guys would say, well, if you're not together, then goodbye. That was hard. I had to release and grieve the potential loss of something that I hold so dear to me in order to find the blessing in being my true, authentic self. And I tell you that I see more and more of Nicole every day. I see more and more of that spirit of life within me every day. And so telling the truth can be really hard because we're not always conscious of it. And being still, right? Be still and know that I'm God. I live and move and have my being in. When we're trying to run away from things, trying to hide from things, when we're hesitant about things, it's what we can do sometimes. We run, we hide, we fight, we freeze, we fawn. And then we breathe into the blessing of knowing that whatever is seeming to appear, that winter that is seeming to be this desolate ground is really within it growing some deep, deep roots. And so I want to share with you something, but I'm going to take a drink first. And I want to honor this drink that I'm taking because Janie gives it to me when she sees me. And so when I get to see her in person, it means something. and it's caffeine free because, as we all know, I get stage fright sometimes. The thing it's called, I Am a Loser. Bear with me. Bear with me. I want to read to you. I was so inspired by this that I hope that it finds a place within you. It's by one of the most inspiring people, one of the most inspiring creatives that I've known. It's about the power of losing, which can be the most meaningful thing that ever happens to us. And I'm just going to read it. I've come to accept the fact that I'm a loser. The more people say otherwise, the more I prove over and over again that it's just who I am. Stuck in my ways, an outsider, outcast, out of my mind, loser. See, it starts with my old identity, who I used to be. I lost that. Then I lost those people that made me feel small, the ones who held me back. Goodbye. Would the streak continue though? Could I keep losing? You bet. Lost that need to please others. Hey, turns out I know what's best for me after all. Lost the things that being done out of obligation and not out of purpose were holding me back from. Let me say that again. I lost the need to please others. Then I lost the things being done out of obligation instead of purpose. I lost the wrong metrics to what I was using to measure success. They're gone. Lost my way so that I might find something better. That was hard, but we can do hard things. Thought I might lose my mind. Pretty close. But I found it just in time. Just lost my old way of thinking. Hey, that's actually a win. Lost yesterday, and I found tomorrow. Lost security, but I found abundance. I lost the people who were more talented, better skilled, the ones who outclassed me. Fine, that's okay. You're showing me the way. I lost my heart a few times. That sucked. It looks like it's still beating and it's still working. So we're good. I lost my purpose. Boy, did I lose my purpose. But I followed the shiny objects instead of the things that mattered. But sometimes seeing what doesn't shine puts a spotlight on what does shine. Keep me swinging from star to star, and hey, I really like it up there. I lost my discipline from time to time, but hey, regret hurts more. So I force myself to do those things. Those things that are hard. I lost track of time. All is forgotten, but I think that's how it should be. I hope I lose more tomorrow. Yes, I lost it. Thank God. Thank God. And this is by a man named Eddie Pascal. And he is such a creative. And when I heard him speak this into life, into formation, I thought, thank God I'm hearing this right now, because let me lose all that is no longer serving me. And I'm shaking it off. And I'm saying, yes, because when we make room, when we let ourselves be in that paradox of hesitation and blessing, because that's what we do. Once we come here enough and we get this reiteration of this same story, we know that there's a blessing that's going to come up somewhere, somehow, sometime. I was just talking to Cindy and I said, you know what? She'll be able to work at Long Beach VA Hospital. That's a blessing. That's a good one. And so I just want to invite us to be in that state. Be okay with me. Be okay with me. You and me, let's be okay with being in the paradox of being in hesitation, of being in discomfort, and in growing. Let us not look backwards to how things were, but move forward to the way that we have been feeling and desiring them to come forth out of us. I know every one of you has had a vision in this past year of a new way that you would like to see the world to be. I know that. Let's do it. And it's okay to be hesitating. It's okay to second guess ourselves. But let me tell you, speaking your truth, speaking my truth, opened my voice. It opened my throat. It opened my heart. And it's why I'm still here. And it's why I thank God every day that you are still here with me. I appreciate you. I honor you, because I know that whatever I'm doing, it's a reflection. We're all reflections of each other. So you must have gone through something that I've gone through, and I've gone through something that you've gone through. And let us be honest and brave and do hard things together. Yes? Would you like to? Okay, let us begin now. And I'm going to move into prayer, because I can feel that spirit of the divine in me. And it's been some times that spirit hasn't been right there, or it's been there, but I haven't felt it. So here we go. Whew. Divine love, divine guidance, divine power, that almighty Holy Spirit. I feel you with my feet on this holy ground, the holy ground in which I stand and live and move and have my being. I recognize that there is only one life, and that life is God, and that life is us, the manifestations of your beauty, of your presence, of the truth. And I know that this is a reflection of each one of us. I know that every one of us are the hands, the footprints, the ears, the voice of the divine. And I know this because I have heard it spoken to me. I've heard it felt to me through a hug. Thank you, God, for being here and alive in this room right now. And so I speak my word of spiritual authority with spiritual conviction, because that is what the universe says yes to. And I know that there is a greater good that is coming about, that is coming through us, every one of us, together, collectively. And it is happening now, not in the future, not in the past, nowhere but now. In the mind of the divine, it is already done. There is a peace that is upon us. There is a love that is in our hearts. There is a forgiveness that needs no understanding. And it is occurring here and now. And so grateful is my heart that my eyes are welling up with tears of gratitude. So I say, yes, thank you more, please, Spirit. Yes, thank you more, please. And so it is.